What's up, guys? This is Bolt Struck with Duck, and today we're trashing on Easton Stick. No, I'm, of course, half joking, but we're talking about the preseason Week 1 Chargers game against the Seahawks. I'm a little late covering this because I was in enemy territory. I was in Las Vegas this weekend. Just real quick on that, I did drive past the Raiders Stadium. Couple things that jumped out to me that I didn't really realize was, one, how close it is to everything. Right, you hear with different stadiums in major cities, right? They call it LA or New York or wherever, and it's technically not in the city, right? It's technically a little farther away, but no, it's right there, which I was shocked. And then two, it's when you hear it's a black stadium, and when I heard they were building a black stadium, you'd expect it to stick out more. And you can clearly see it, right? It's massive. But it just kind of blends in. It doesn't look incredible or anything, right? It doesn't look that much more unique than like a typical stadium, especially with how many unique buildings there are in Las Vegas. It looks kind of average, compared to the surroundings. But that's about it on that topic. But so back into the preseason, we're going to talk about that. So first things first, preseason, especially week 1, not that important, especially since, Sean McVay kind of revolutionized not playing starters and things like that. What I alluded to earlier is kind of the important thing is we don't have a backup quarterback, and we haven't in forever. I kind of think we were gifted with 2 top 10 quarterbacks of all time on a single roster in Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers. And then it's cursed us ever since, where we just can't even have a competent backup quarterback. I mean, literally we had Tyrod Taylor, who was fine, and Justin Herbert on the same roster, and Tyrod Taylor literally got his lung punctured. We just, I guess, aren't allowed to have a decent backup anymore. And it really isn't a fault of Easton Stick. And I know he is on the team because he's apparently a good X's and O's guy. He's a good locker room guy, but, we just can't have him filling in for Justin Herbert. One name I've seen, which I was a little shocked, and then when I remember that he actually was available, was Ryan Tannehill is not signed. I don't know how much money he would take. If he was smart, he probably would just wait until QBs get injured, and someone will probably offer him a decent amount. But who knows? Maybe he wants to ring chase with Harbaugh. That would obviously be awesome. He's easily capable of starting in the NFL. He's a top 32 quarterback right now. So there's a name out there, but we'll see. We do have a few QBs on the roster. Easton Stick, Max Duggan, who they've cut, probably no joke, 25 times between the practice squad, the official roster, and just moving around. Thanks, Tom Telesco, for wasting a pick on him. And then they got the Luis Garcia guy from the XFL, which he looked fine in the little bit he played, but still. Ryan Tannehill, he's out there. Ryan, if you're watching this, take a pay cut. But I wouldn't be too concerned for how the offense looked because of Easton Stick not being a very competent quarterback. Especially, you guys got to remember, this is the Mahomes method, right? The offense looked bad because Easton Stick looked bad, and I know we don't have a ton of, offensive firepower weapons, but again, that's the Mahomes method, is just the fact that Justin Herbert, especially with his contract that's about to kick in next year, should be able to carry subpar receivers, which honestly he has his entire career, with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams being injury prone, right? He was about to win that San Francisco game a couple years ago with DeAndre Carter being his number 1 target. I believe in that game, all of his receivers had a combined less than 200 receiving yards in the NFL. So Herbert can win without weapons, so I wouldn't be too concerned on that front. But we know Herbert's dealing with a foot injury. We can't, count on a backup that's currently on the roster unless Luis Garcia steps up. Hope to see more of him in the next preseason game. But enough about the quarterback situation. A couple other things that stuck out to me is 2 players in the top 5 lowest PFF grades for the Chargers defense was Daiyan Henley, the linebacker, and Tuli Tuipolotu, the edge. Which is, of course, it sounds a little concerning because Daiyan Henley is supposed to step up this year, and Tuli being awesome last year. So on the Tuli front, I wouldn't worry about it. One, because he had a monster season last year, and it's the first preseason game. That goes for Daiyan Henley too, especially with positions like edge more so, but then even with linebacker. I kind of alluded to in my training camp video last time. You don't get a ton of truly live reps, right? Because you're not, especially again with Tuli, you're not able to sack a Justin Herbert or even an Easton Stick. So it's one of those things like you're bound to be a little rusty on that aspect. And other than quarterback, you are pretty much going full throttle, but it's different, with an air whistle. You're probably not trying to take someone's head off like you would in a real game. So I would just shake it off to maybe a little rust in the first game. And again, with Tuli, he's already shown he can ball, he can play, so I'm not concerned with him. And then with Daiyan Henley, he doesn't, with the signing of Denzel Perryman, he doesn't have to be the guy this year. It's almost like prepping for the future. He's a little smaller, so he's versatile. So I'd just like to see them, be able to drop him back in coverage, maybe design some blitz packages for him. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him in the next preseason game. But obviously the first preseason game, not worth stressing about. And then the big one, our number 1 draft pick, Joe Alt, only credited with 1 pressure given up. And he looked pretty athletic during the game. So no complaints there. Again, I kind of said with offensive line, a lot of times no news is good news. That typically means they're doing their job. But yeah, those are kind of the big 3 that I wanted to talk about, plus the quarterback situation. Just a quick video because, again, it is only week 1 of the preseason, but I will continue to cover the preseason games as we roll into the season. But let me know your guys' thoughts and comments on the quarterback position. Who's out there that you'd like to sign, or do you like someone in our quarterback room? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe. Click to the left to subscribe. Like the video if you liked the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.